A world in crisis. Have you noticed how much our world is changing? Wildfires burn hotter, hurricanes grow stronger, and temperatures break records year after year. These events are no longer rare, they're becoming the new normal. As we see the impacts of climate change unfold, it's natural to ask, how did we get here? And what can we do? For Christians, the conversation about climate change begins with the Bible. In Genesis 1:31, after creating the heavens and the earth, God declared that everything He had made was very good. He entrusted humanity with dominion over the earth, but this was never meant to be a free pass for exploitation. Instead, it was a call to stewardship, a sacred duty to care for the world as a reflection of our Creator's love. But look around. Have we honored that trust? Forests are being stripped away for profit, oceans choke on plastic waste, and entire ecosystems are collapsing. Each of these consequences tells a story of neglect and selfishness. When we prioritize convenience and profit over sustainability, we fail not only the planet, but also the Creator who entrusted it to us. Climate change isn't just a scientific issue, it's a spiritual one. Romans 8:19-22 paints a vivid picture. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. The whole creation has been groaning as in the pains of childbirth. The groaning of creation is a reminder that the earth itself longs for redemption, just as we do. The consequences of this crisis aren't limited to the environment. People around the world, especially the most vulnerable, are already suffering. Rising sea levels threaten coastal communities, droughts devastate crops, and extreme weather events displace millions. These aren't abstract issues, they're realities impacting our neighbors. And as Christians, we are called to respond. As we reflect on the state of the world, it's crucial to remember that God hasn't abandoned His creation. The Bible assures us that He is deeply invested in the restoration of all things. However, He also calls us to act. Caring for the environment isn't a political agenda, it's a form of worship. When we take steps to preserve the earth, we honor the Creator who made it. The spiritual roots of stewardship. The concept of stewardship is deeply woven into the fabric of Scripture. From the moment humanity was created, God gave us a role not just as inhabitants of the earth, but as its caretakers. Genesis 2:15 states, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it." This verse reveals a profound truth. Our relationship with creation is not passive, but active. Stewardship is not about ownership, but responsibility. The earth belongs to God. Psalm 24:1 reminds us, "The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, the world and all who live in it." As stewards, our task is to manage what has been entrusted to us with care and integrity. However, in many ways, humanity has acted more like conquerors than caretakers, exploiting resources without regard for the consequences. This mindset of exploitation stems from a spiritual issue, the separation between humanity and God. When sin entered the world, it fractured not only our relationship with our Creator, but also our connection to His creation. The earth began to bear the scars of human disobedience, as seen in the thorns and thistles of Genesis 3:17-18. This brokenness is evident in the environmental degradation we witness today. Yet, the Bible offers a vision of restoration. Leviticus 25 introduces the concept of the Sabbath year, a time when the land itself would rest. This principle wasn't just agricultural wisdom, it was an acknowledgement that the earth belongs to God and deserves to be treated with respect. It's a reminder that sustainability is not a modern invention, but a divine commandment. As believers, our stewardship extends beyond the physical care of the planet. It's a spiritual practice, a way of living out our faith. When we recycle, conserve water, or reduce waste, we're not just making eco-friendly choices, we're reflecting God's heart for His creation. These small acts are a form of worship, honoring the Creator by caring for what He has made. The impact of neglect, the effects of humanity's failure to steward the earth responsibly, are painfully evident. Rising global temperatures, disappearing biodiversity, and polluted waterways are not merely scientific statistics, they are the visible scars of neglect. Each fallen tree, Each oil spill and each extinct species tells a story of imbalance and selfishness, a deviation from God's original design. Consider the coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea. These vibrant ecosystems are home to countless marine species, yet they are dying at an alarming rate due to warming waters and pollution. This loss doesn't just affect marine life, it disrupts entire food chains and livelihoods. Similarly, deforestation in the Amazon doesn't just destroy trees, it impacts the air we breathe, the climate we depend on, and the intricate balance of life itself. The Bible warns us of the consequences of neglecting God's creation. In Hosea 4-3, the prophet laments, "Because of this, the land dries up, and all who live in it waste away. The beasts of the field, the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea are swept away." These words, written centuries ago, feel eerily relevant today. What's more, the consequences of environmental degradation disproportionately affect the poor and marginalized. Coastal communities face rising seas, farmers endure droughts, and entire populations are displaced by natural disasters. This is not just an ecological crisis, it's a justice issue. As Christians, we are called to care for the least of these, Matthew 25-40, and addressing climate change is part of that mission. The impact of neglect extends to our spiritual health as well. When we treat the earth as disposable, we lose sight of its sacredness. Each sunrise, each mountain, and each river is a reflection of God's glory. By failing to cherish His creation, we miss an opportunity to connect with Him more deeply. The impact of neglect, the effects of humanity's failure to steward the earth responsibly, are painfully evident. Rising global temperatures, disappearing biodiversity, and polluted waterways are not merely scientific statistics, they are the visible scars of neglect. Each fallen tree, each oil spill, and each extinct species tells a story of imbalance and selfishness, a deviation from God's original design. Consider the coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea. These vibrant ecosystems are home to countless marine species, yet they are dying at an alarming rate due to warming waters and pollution. This loss doesn't just affect marine life, it disrupts entire food chains and livelihoods. Similarly, deforestation in the Amazon doesn't just destroy trees, it impacts the air we breathe, the climate we depend on, and the intricate balance of life itself. The Bible warns us of the consequences of neglecting God's creation. In Hosea 4-3, the prophet laments, "Because of this, the land dries up, and all who live in it waste away. The beasts of the field, the birds in the sky, and the fish in the sea are swept away." These words, written centuries ago, feel eerily relevant today. What's more, the consequences of environmental degradation disproportionately affect the poor and marginalized. Coastal communities face rising seas, farmers endure droughts, and entire populations are displaced by natural disasters. This is not just an ecological crisis, it's a justice issue. As Christians, we are called to care for the least of these, Matthew 25-40, and addressing climate change is part of that mission. The impact of neglect, a call to action. Faced with the mounting challenges of climate change and environmental degradation, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But as believers, we are not called to despair, we are called to act. The Bible is filled with examples of individuals who responded to God's call in the face of daunting circumstances. Just as Noah built the ark and Joseph prepared for famine, we are invited to take steps toward restoration and stewardship. Our actions may seem small in the grand scheme of things, but they hold immense significance. Choosing to reduce waste, conserve energy, and support sustainable practices are tangible ways we can honor God's creation. Proverbs 13:11 reminds us that dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money, little by little, makes it grow. This principle applies to our care for the earth small. Consistent actions can lead to monumental change. The church has a unique role in this mission. Imagine communities of faith leading the charge for sustainability, hosting cleanup events, planting trees, or advocating for policies that protect the environment. These efforts go beyond environmentalism. They are acts of worship that declare God's glory and love for His creation. Moreover, teaching future generations about the importance of stewardship ensures that this mission continues. Proverbs 22:6 emphasizes, "Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it." By instilling a love and respect for nature in young hearts, we raise up a generation equipped to carry forward this sacred responsibility. Addressing climate change is not about fear, but faith. It's a demonstration of our trust in God's plan and our willingness to partner with Him in the renewal of all things. Revelation 21:5 declares, "He who was seated on the throne said, 'I am making everything new.'" This promise fuels our hope and inspires our action. Hope for restoration. Despite the challenges we face, there is profound hope rooted in God's promises. The Bible is clear. Creation is not beyond redemption. Just as humanity longs for salvation, so too does the earth yearn for renewal. In Isaiah 11:6-9, we are given a vision of harmony where the wolf will live with the lamb, and the natural world is restored to peace and balance. This vision isn't just a distant dreamt, a reminder of God's ultimate plan for creation. Revelation 21:1 speaks of a new heaven and a new earth, a place where the brokenness of today is replaced by the fullness of God's design. Our efforts to care for the earth are part of preparing for that restoration, a tangible expression of faith and hope. As Christians, we are called to be light in the darkness and salt in a decaying world. Our commitment to sustainability and environmental stewardship can inspire others to see the beauty and purpose in God's creation. Imagine the impact if every believer lived out this calling, churches becoming hubs of ecological renewal, individuals advocating for change, and communities uniting in the shared mission of restoration. Let this be a challenge and an encouragement. Caring for the earth is not just a responsibility, it's a privilege. Each small act of stewardship, whether planting a tree, reducing waste, or raising awareness, is a declaration of hope, a testimony that we believe in a God who restores all things. So, as you go about your daily life, remember that your choices matter. They echo through creation and into eternity. Let's be faithful stewards, not out of guilt or obligation, but out of love for our Creator and His masterpiece. Together, we can turn the tide and leave a legacy of faithfulness for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through faith and stewardship. If this message inspired you, we invite you to take action. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and let's spread the word about our sacred responsibility to care for God's creation. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video to stay connected with more thought-provoking content. Hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a new post. Together, we can make a difference for the planet, for each other, and for the glory of God. See you in the next video.